It's me again for the third day in a row. This is Top Cheddar Sports. This is Wednesday, so we're going to continue our season previews for every NHL team. We talked about the New Jersey Devils, New York Rangers, New York Islanders last week. So this week we're going to focus on the state of Pennsylvania with the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers. Now I must say before I really get into this that 90% of my friends are either Penguins fans or Flyers fans, so I'm kind of in dangerous territory talking about either of these teams here. So hopefully they don't watch this, so they don't know what I have to say, because I don't think either of them will like it. Anyways, let's start with the Pittsburgh Penguins. So the Pittsburgh Penguins, they snuck into the playoffs again last year. They still have the longest streak in the NHL of making the playoffs at this point. However, their offseason has been very drama-filled, very interesting. So the pieces they brought in, we're not going to focus on what they sent out really, but they brought in Brandon Tanev, Alex Galchenyuk, and Dylan Cahoon, who I think people are already kind of forgetting about, and I think Dylan Cahoon is going to be, honestly, might make the biggest impact of those three players, believe it or not. I really like him as a player. I think he could thrive in Pittsburgh. However, I do have the Penguins as trending down. The Penguins are still kind of weighed down by some bad contracts. They still, I think, are kind of searching for an identity. After their cup runs, they've kind of lost it, and I still don't think they've really found their identity. So kind of an identity crisis going on there, kind of still underwhelming moves. Given what they did send out. I don't know. I have the Penguins missing the playoffs this year for the first time in, I think for the first time since 2007. I could be wrong on that. I have the Penguins actually finishing 6th in the Metropolitan Division, although I have them right behind the Devils at 5. Although I can't stress enough, again, that I have 4 through 8 in the Metropolitan Division, separated by no more than like 6 to 10 points. I think it's going to be very tight. Definitely the closest division in the NHL this year, I think, the most balanced. But yeah, the Penguins are trending down. I don't like the Tanev signing. They're overpaying him. He's not a terrible player, but for what they're paying him and the length, I don't like that. Alex Galchenyuk, I've always liked. I think he'll be a good fit. I think he'll be a good player for them, but not as productive offensively as Phil Kessel. And then Dylan Cahoon, like I said, I really like his speed. I think depending on where they put him in the lineup, he could be a really, really sneaky good ad for them. But overall, I have the Penguins missing the playoffs. Going to the east side, my hometown of Philadelphia, the Flyers. I have the Flyers trending up. The Flyers, they brought in a new general manager, and he has been incredibly active this offseason. The biggest moves that they made, they brought in Tyler Pitlick from the Stars. They bring in Kevin Hayes and lock him up for a 7-year contract. I don't like Kevin Hayes' contract. They're paying him a lot of money for a guy that's only put up 50 points, like once in his career, I believe. So I don't like his contract, but he is a very good player. They bring in Justin Braun, good defenseman from the Sharks, and Matt Niskanen, who can't seem to leave the Metropolitan Division. He is now a Flyer. I like that ad as well. So Flyers, yeah, I really like what they did. I like where they're going. They're finally going to get a full year with Carter Hart as their starting goaltender, who I see a lot of Carey Price in Carter Hart. Hopefully not the injury aspect of it for Flyers fans, but a lot of Carey Price. I really like this kid. This is his first full season. I think he's going to do very, very well. I really do. I expect big things from him. I have the Flyers overall finishing 4th in the Metropolitan Division. Like I mentioned, I only have 3 teams actually making the playoffs from this division. I already mentioned, I think the New York Islanders, they'll finish 3rd. I think they'll make the playoffs. The other 2, it's a mystery. I don't know. You'll have to tune in next week and find out. But the Flyers, I have finishing 4th and just missing the playoffs. Probably looking at around 9th in the Eastern Conference overall for the Flyers. I do think they'll be vastly improved this year. I think it'll be close. They could sneak into the playoffs, or they could finish 6th or 7th in the division. Again, I think it's going to be really tight, but I'll have them 4th. I like what they've done, and I like where they're going. And Flyers fans should be very excited with their new general manager and their young defenseman and their young goaltender there. And that'll do it. We're only going to cover 2 teams here this week. We'll cover the last 3 next week. That's kind of going to be the trend for all these divisions, aside from obviously the Central, as they only have 7 teams. So that'll be probably 3-2-2. But we'll do 3 teams, 2 teams for each division. So this week is just these 2. Next week, we'll finish it up with the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Washington Capitals. And as you know by now, I think 2 of those 3 teams will make the playoffs, so you'll just have to wait and see who. And although you can probably guess. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Leave a like, leave a comment, smash that subscribe button. Let me know what you think the Penguins and Flyers are going to do. Let me know how wrong I am again. And Penguins fans, let me hear the hate that I don't have them making the playoffs. I hope they prove me wrong. I'm a Pens fan, I really do. But I'm just trying to be realistic about it. And that'll do it for Top Cheddar Sports. Victor will have the NFL for you tomorrow. And then Spencer will be back for baseball on Monday. I won't see you again until next Wednesday, actually. So have a good week.